I love helping people. I love making a difference for people.
Hi there, I am Kristy Chase with the Debt Strategy, bringing you money-making ideas so that you can find that one idea that'll inspire you to make that extra money and make a difference in your life. Today I want to share with you something that I did a few years ago. It was not only financially feasible, it was a ton of fun, and it kept me more fit than I ever thought making money could do. It's really true. I created a flyer distribution business for other businesses. I got paid to put out other people's flyers. Now, my inspiration came from a guy at a monthly training for a network marketing business that I was part of at the time. Now, I had to get out and talk to people, but the trick was, how do I find the people that want my help? I mean, it's one thing to walk and talk to people, or to talk to friends and family, which, by the way, I would never do. So how do you find new customers? Well, I used to put out flyers every single day to get my phone ringing. So this one month I was at this Saturday meeting, and this guy Brian stands up, and he was so excited. He stood up and shared how he got paid the previous week to put out his own flyers. He saw this other person in the same community putting out flyers where he was putting out his flyers. Brian was afraid the guy would remove his flyers, so he approached the guy and offered to put that guy's flyers out with his own. And the other guy was actually really thrilled to do it. He knew his flyers would get to the homes because Brian was doing it. So he asked Brian, well, what would you charge me? And he said, how about $20? So this guy was really happy, and Brian was too. I had a light bulb moment. What if I took it further? What if I made a business out of it? What if I create a very well-defined structure where I put out a certain number of flyers every single week and, of course, every single month? And I decided I would reach out to lots of businesses or people who would benefit from a customer or a referral and let them know that they could trust it because I'm putting out my flyers too. So I started calling everyone who I thought would benefit from a new customer. I reached out to people that I met at a few of the networking groups that I went to. Clearly they wanted referrals, right? And what's great about networking groups is you ordinarily get a listing of the group members and their contact information when you visit the first time. I also looked online for businesses. Now I found carpet cleanings, tax preparers, a guy from Paychecks, an insurance agent, a mover, a handyman, even a piano teacher. I found a woman who braided hair and did extensions, a personal trainer, bars, restaurants, hair salons. I mean, I had an endless supply of businesses. These people wanted their flyer in my group of flyers that were being distributed locally. So I came up with a price for the month of what my time would be worth. Then I divided that into the number of flyers that I could put out, and I came up with a cost per flyer. Then I doubled it to accommodate for things I needed to buy, things like the bags, the ink to make my flyers. Now I didn't want to be like everyone else, and I didn't want to make communities mad at me by letting flyers float around the neighborhoods and, the wind blows it around or the rain would mess it up. Plus my efforts would be for nothing if it rained before people got home. You can't put flyers in mailboxes. It's actually against the law, so don't do that. But one day I came home to a pizza flyer on my door, and it was just hanging there, and the flyer was hanging on the doorknob, and it had this cutout. On that same day, my newspaper was delivered in a plastic bag, a sleeve, so that it would keep it dry. So I thought, what if I could put flyers in a bag like that, but hang it on doorknobs like the pizza flyer was? So I went online, and I found them. They're called door hanger bags. So I ordered 1,000 of them. I was spending a lot of time printing all of my own flyers and on the replacement ink that you put into your ink cartridges, which absolutely made a mess. So I approached a printing company, one that did my business cards locally. So I asked the guy, hey, I have a flyer distribution business. Would you be interested in more business by having over 2,000 flyers a month, view it for free? And I offered to work it out and trade, print up my flyers and cut them and make your own and cut them to my dimensions, and I'll put your flyers out for free. He loved it, and he was all in. And he was able to do my flyers at the end of somebody else's run. So now I'm getting my flyers done, which consisted of the cover page flyer plus the flyer that advertised my network marketing business. So now I had 2 money-making opportunities of my own in the bag, plus the printing company's flyer. Now it was nice because it wasn't like Valpak. I wanted it to be first come, first serve for businesses, kind of like the rules of a networking group. At one point, I had 3 carpet cleaners and 2 Mary Kay people who were trying to pay for a spot. It was so great that I broke out a second group of bags, and I allowed an entirely new set of businesses into those, keeping the second group exclusive for one business per type as well. The first person that paid got in. Now, I came up with price points that allowed people to go month to month or pay 3 months up front for a discount. I gave a week for free if they paid 3 months in advance. Now, I also had rules. First, people had to bring their pre-cut flyers to me, and they had to be exactly a half-page flyer, ready to put in the bags along with their money. I did 2,000 flyers a month for $250 or $685 for 3 months, with the correct number of flyers in a box delivered to me. If they didn't have a flyer and wanted to hire me to design one, I charged $85 an hour with the understanding that I would email them the PDF of the flyer, and they had to make copies, cut them properly, and deliver them to me by the proper date if they wanted them to go out. Now, there were days where I had 3 or 4 people showing up at one time with $700 checks, thrilled to have me do this for them. And at the end of each week, I would email each of my flyer group members and let them know where I put out the flyers. It was either at townhouses or apartments, depending on what kind of companies were in the bag. Not all companies are right for apartments, so you have to take that into consideration when you're distributing, where you're going to go and what kind of companies you bring into the bag. You have to be organized, and you've got to put out exactly the number of flyers you say you're going to put out, or you'll lose credibility very quickly. Now, you need to have a professional cover flyer so that it doesn't look junky. Since it's different, they'll be curious. People are going to wonder if, when they're at their door, what it is. They're not going to want to just throw it away with the mail. They're going to want to open it. The door hanger bags keep the flyers dry, and they keep them from flying around the neighborhood, which communities absolutely hate. You have to respect the rules given in every community. If they say no flyer distribution or no handbills, that means no flyers. You'll need to skip that community. Now, if it says no soliciting, you're safe, because if you're doing flyer distribution, you're not selling or asking for money. Always be courteous to people in the community, and always be considerate of their locked screen doors and different types of doorknobs. They don't all allow for the hanger. And be cautious of yards with fences. They could have dogs. And never ever put anything on or near anyone's car. This flyer distribution can not only make you money on putting out flyers for others and money from your own flyers being in the bag, but it gave me a ton of new clients that didn't even want to put their flyer in my bag. You see, by picking up the phone and just making that phone call, everyone whose card I picked up on bulletin boards, or someone that I met in a networking group, even someone who advertised online, every single time I was able to give my 30-second commercial or an overview about what I did. I picked up so many people as customers for my products that never had an interest in putting their flyer in my group. So I had more customers just from making phone calls. It was fantastic. It wasn't long before I had referrals for both my business and the flyer bags, and I absolutely loved it. And of course, be sure to record all of your income and expenses and mileage so that you can report your earnings on your taxes. Well, that's it in a nutshell. I hope that this helps you realize you can make money doing pretty much anything. Don't forget to post below. Was this a helpful idea for you? I would be honored if you would please take 2 seconds to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've set a goal to get 100 subscribers by the end of this summer, and I'd love your help. And if you have money-making ideas, or something that you've done, or someone you know has done something, please post below. Maybe I can interview you for a money-making idea. I'll leave my email address in the description below. I'm Kristy Chase with The Debt Strategy, coming to you with money-making ideas so you can wipe out your debt today to focus on your financial future. I'll see you soon.